Hey ho und willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Fantasian. Und an dieser Stelle sofort, ich empfehle euch oben rechts das i-Symbol anzuklicken, denn dann kommt ihr auf die Playlist dieses Let's Plays, denn wir sind gerade nicht mit Leo unterwegs. Aber gut, ich will jetzt hier nicht zu viel spoilern, wir haben auch ein bisschen storytechnisch was Neues erfahren und so, aber gut. Schaut selbst und ja, würde mal sagen, wir beginnen es. Jetzt können wir doch wieder zu denen bestimmt, oder? Oder es passiert gerade etwas. Bestimmt irgendwie sowas in der Art, oder? Nee, scheint noch nicht der Fall zu sein. Using this terminal, I have investigation your origins. You came from the human realm. Please observe. Are you familiar with wormholes? There's a hole in the sky over vents. Is that a wormhole? This mechanical realm is connected to the human realm by a wormhole. Lord Vam has modified Sentinel units to create new mechans. He also created a wormhole in order to send them to your realm. Let me guess. Those mechans are the Mecteria, and they are traveling to our world through the wormhole. So, if I'm getting this right, the wormhole connects to our world. It's like a tunnel between this world and ours. Vam created the Mecteria here, in the Mechan realm, then sent it through the wormhole to contaminate our realm. For clarity's sake, I will use your term Mecteria in further explanation. The Mecteria was created for the purpose of collecting emotion. What purpose could that serve? Vam is acting in opposition to order. By gathering emotions, he gathers chaos for his cause as well. Bestowing hearts upon the robots here is another form of his protest. I might be wrong, but if that wormhole connects to our world, we might be able to use it to go home. It certainly seems plausible, but before we jump in, might I use that device? I do like to see what else it can tell us. This device directly accesses the user's memories to transmit information. However, its effects on a human subject have not been verified. I wanna try it. This feels strange. I can't smell anything. Is this a dream or something? Okay, wo sind wir da gelandet, ey? The First Daughter. Tragedy. Rock the Queendom of Vibra. The newborn princess had been kidnapped. The kidnapper left a sinister message which hung like a storm cloud over the palace. We are here to darken the future of Vibra. We have taken your nameless princess, she who shall call chaos upon their queendom. We demand the immediate termination of the royal bloodline and the full transfer of power of the people. Vibra, having barely just finished celebrating the birth of the princess, was now filled with mourning over her disappearance. Queen Sintana and her husband, Princess Garland, wailed their most trusted vassals. The company immediately began searching for the missing princess. In 2 days' time, Princess Garland managed to track down the kidnapper's hideout, but the newborn princess was nowhere to be found. The child had vanished without a trace. Queen Santana put on a brave face before her subjects, though inside she was wrecked with grief over her daughter's disappearance. Children of Vibran, I thank you for the many tears you have shed for your dear princess. No matter what threats befall our nation, I will continue to serve you, good people of Vibra. I urge you to wipe your tears and remain positive. The queen boldly addressed and implored her subjects, but they were shocked to see the troll tragedy had taken on her body. Queen Santana appeared before her people 3 days after the prince's abduction. In that short time, she had become thin and frail. Her body betrayed the desperation in her heart as a mother who had lost her daughter. But strength still shined in her eyes. She refused to let her citizens succumb to despair as she had. Still, it was plain to see that the queen was pushing herself too far. The search for the heiress to the throne continued, but the abduction princess' whereabouts remained unknown. This is my fault, the queen said, her eyes tight and hollow. Princess Garland took his wife's frail hand into his own, but all he could say to comfort her was, "It is not your fault, it is not your fault." Garland's voice wavered as he repeated these words again and again. Santana watched her husband in silence. The future I do once envisioned is no longer possible. I no longer have the power to lead the people of Vibra. We only need more time. Our people will grant us that. I feel so weak. The queen could barely manage a whisper. I've tried reaching out of her again and again, but I fear I've done all that I can do. Queen Santana was a powerful mage. It stood to reason that her daughter would inherit such power. Since the abduction, Santana had tried desperately to detect her daughter's magical energy, but she had not found a single hint of the princess, and now her own powers swarmed within her. In her grief, the queen's magic dwindled. It was as if Queen Santana's heart had frozen, totally overwhelmed by the loss of her daughter. Oh, if only I do give her a name straight away, instead of waiting for her naming ceremony. Try as I might to call for her, she is without a name to call. I can still feel her warmth in my hands. Her tiny body, so fragile, so delicate. Tears streamed down Queen Santana's face. Princess Garland gently wiped his wife's cheeks dry. My queen, please, try to be at ease. I'm here with you. I know it seems as though there is no end to this sadness, but I am by your side to bear it with you. Princess Garland squeezed her hand tightly. He hoped that he could give her his warmth, his presence, in place of their daughter, and thus share with her some of his strength. Santana finally lifted her gaze to meet her husband. Looking into her tear-drenched eyes, Garland spoke. You must focus on your own health. It's the best thing you can do for her now. Prince Garland reached out to hold Santana. Santana surrendered to her husband's tender, embraced and wrapped her arms around him. He held her even tighter. Santana needs his support. It was vital to her as the air she breathed. The princess' whereabouts remains unknown. Days become weeks, weeks become months. In time, the vibrant public came to assume their princess was dead. But no dared say so out loud. The citizens remained strong and granted Queen Santana and Princess Gerald fealty and love. Eventually, the people of Vibrant stopped talking about the nameless princess altogether. Is this a story about the queen that's evidently protecting me? I don't get it. Where am I? My senses are betraying me. No, they have abandoned me entirely. The second daughter. Oh Gott, nein. Sag mir bitte nicht, Kina ist auch eine Tochter von denen. Several years had passed since the princess was abducted. At long last, the Queen of Vibra awoke to a joyous new morning, for Queen Santana was expecting her second child. That wasn't all of Santana's newfound fortune. Her magical power had also regenerated somewhat, perhaps due to her renewed desire to protect her new daughter. The adoring cries of Queen Santana's faithful subjects welcomed her second child into the world. When the day of this new princess naming finally arrived, she was given the name Cherly. Oh, okay. Cherly grew up under careful protection, never far from Santana's loving, watchful eye. Even as a toddler, Cherly proved to be a quick thinker, and she grew into a fearless young girl. The people of Vibra, enthralled by their second princess, eventually all but forgotten about her missing sister. Except for Santana. When Cherly was 3 years old, Queen Santana fell deathly ill. Her court doctor did their best to uncover the root of the sickness that gnawed at their queen, but their trials all ended in failure. Queen Santana withdrew from the public eye and spent her days lying in the bed. Still, the young Cherly would regularly visit the queen's bedroom, where her mother was usually well enough to teach her magic. At times, though, Santana could do nothing but silently gaze into the distance. Cherly sensed a great sadness in her mother's heart. She worked hard to make her mother smile again, doing her best to stay positive and clearly demonstrate the progress she made in her magical training. But Cherly knew the truth. The queen had never give up the search for an unnamed sister. This created an unspoken tension between mother and daughter, a tension that even Princess Gerald couldn't understand. Time passed, but Santana showed no sign of recovery. The queen grew more and more gaunt by the day. Mother's going to die, Cherly murmured one evening at the diner's table. Her words struck a dissonant chord with Princess Garland. He believed he knew the cause of his wife's terrible illness, grief for the twin losses of her firstborn and her magical power. "You're right, my darling," said Queen Santana, smiling sadly at her husband. "As you say, I cannot let go of our missing daughter. Absence eats away at me even now. When she was here, I couldn't protect her. When she was gone, I couldn't save her. Is she alive or is she dead? I cannot even more her uncertainty. Guilt and doubt had built up inside the queen, like rock in a riverbed, slowly but surely wearing down what strength she had left. Giving birth to Cherly and watching her growing up in safety only served to push her guilt for the loss of her firstborn over the brink. Unable at last to control the pain she kept harmless for years. Queen Santana knew she had reached a point of no return. No, my queen, I forbid it. Ending your life would not change a thing. Princess Garland was deeply saddened when he heard his wife's decision. I'm sorry, my darling, but I can never forgive myself for my weakness that day. Please, watch over Cherly. She is a very strong child, but also very sensitive. She understands why I felt I must leave this world. I did so want to stay by her side. There is so much that I wanted still to teach her. I wanted to hold her hand and show her so many things. I wanted to walk with her and talk with her. I failed both of my daughters. Sensing something was amiss, Cherly came running into the room. She dashed over to her mother and clung fast to her. Her attendant stepped in soon afterwards, but maintained his distance from the family. I beg you, pardon, Your Highness. I was unable to stop Princess Cherly. Never mind. Thank you, Sebastian. Santana smiled at the attendant to assuage his guilt. She then caressed Cherly's hair gently. Cherly, you are such a strong girl. Mother, don't. Cherly felt the weak touch of her mother's fingertips. She could tell the queen barely had any strength left. Cherly, there is something I need to tell you. You must find your own destiny. Destiny? Cherly repeated. I tried my hardest to find my own destiny too. But your destiny belongs to you alone. You must find it. When you do, you will become much stronger. You will grow into a queen worthy of your subjects' love. Santana reached out to Cherly and closed her eyes. She tenderly ran her finger through her daughter's hair. Both Cherly and Garland sat beside her, watching without saying a word. Santana's hand slowed to a stop. A moment later, it softly fell onto Cherly's shoulder. At last, Queen Santana was at peace. I see. This is an old memory. A memory about my old sisters who went missing. Oh, how her disappearance haunted you, Mother. Cherly, are you there? It's like I can feel you beside me. It's so strange. The Lost Princess. In the ancient vibrant tongue, Kina means destiny. The kidnapped princess was passed along like an unwanted gift. Eventually, fate brought the nameless princess to the frontier town of N. Owen, acting on a whim to look in the alley where she had been left, may have been guided by destiny as well. When he saw the abandoned child, Owen felt a mysterious, luminous presence around her. It was a manifestation of Queen Santana's desires to protect her daughter. Owen gave the child her first ever name, Kina. The ancient vibrant tongue recognized two senses of destiny. One is the state of a person as they drift through life, following the whims of society around them. But the other sense described the path that a person finds for themselves. The lost vibrant princess ended up in N just like I did. And then she met Owen. Wait, it can't be. Can it? The lost princess, she's me? Cheryl! Kina! I don't know what to say. That woman in the light. She's my mother. She's our mother. It's hard to believe, but I know it's true. I am the Queen's lost daughter. What was she like, Cheryl? You know, our mother. She was deeply sad. The mother I knew as I grew up was nearly always crying. They say she used to smile resolutely upon her subjects, but that was not the queen, not the mother that I knew. It was hard for our child to bear, very, very hard. Seeing her lie there, disconsolate, knowing that she had lost someone whom I could never replace. Mother never saw me, not really, for I stood right before her. Mother's heart was filled with my sister's absence. It had no room for me. It is so very hard to feel unloved. Oh, Kina, how you must despise me, how selfish you must think I am. I don't think you're selfish, Cheryl. I even understand how you feel. Growing up, I had family in Owen, but I still always felt this deep, sharp pang of loneliness. It's painful not knowing who you are. When you felt that spirit, it never occurred to you it was your mother? I mean, I always felt like someone was protecting me, but I've had powerful magic since I was little. I just thought it was part of that. I never imagined it was my mother. When I realized that my own mother was protecting you, I couldn't help but feel strange, and I will admit, angry as well. Suddenly I was that selfish, jealous little girl again. I wished that I could take back the horrible thing I said to you. I'm not the only one she protects. I know I wasn't fully conscious, but I could still feel it so clearly. Our mother appeared that day to protect both of us. Kina. I know she did. You're right. Deep down I felt it too. Right? Thank you, Kina. Perhaps she will appear again someday. I'm sure she will. You know how good we are at getting into danger. Well, the next time she appears, we certainly have something to tell her. We do? What's that? How much she means to our family, of course. Yeah, you're right. Let's talk to her together as sisters. Yes, let's. Are you alright? Are your system operational? We feared your heart's malfunctioned. Cheryl, I am so happy. I finally know who I am. And I have a sister. I wanted a family for my whole life. I will admit it feels a bit strange, suddenly having an older sister. What is this warm feeling? I'm overheating? And look at me. I have a little sister. So, are you going to call me Big Sis from now on? Perhaps when ribbons fly. Besides, you are royalty now, Kina. Someone will have to teach you the manners suitable to your situation. Royalty, huh? Of course. But worry not, I shall instruct you most thoroughly and mercilessly. My dear sister. Dear sister? That's not something I'm used to. They look happy. The agnostic detected a familial bond forming between them. It is making me feel fuzzy inside. Our first lesson begins. Repeat, that is not something to which I am accustomed. Cheryl, what's wrong? My head. The time is nigh. The time is nigh for all of the divine artifacts to return to their master. Wird sie jetzt kontrolliert? Cheryl? The lock. It has been opened. Cheryl, please come back. That area is very dangerous. Danger, danger. Great Kings. Incoming signal from Lord Vam. They must be in the world of mechanics. I've got to get one of those jewels and rob there somehow. But how? Welcome! Come, take a look. We've got a whole new stock of items, fresh off the Usra. The Usra? Of course! I should try talking to the captain of the Usra. As for Kina and Cheryl, I should tell Owen and Sebastian. But what could I even say to them? Oh, young man, surely something I have tickles your fancy. Sure. So, es war jetzt mal eine längere Episode, aber sehr viel Story, also wirklich sehr viel wichtige Story. Man merkt schon an meiner Stimme, dass sie ein bisschen im Eimer geht, wenn man so viel vorlesen muss. Naja, wie es jedenfalls weitergeht, werdet ihr in den nächsten Episoden sehen. Deswegen empfehle ich trotzdem ein Abo dazulassen, denn so könnt ihr keine Folge mehr verpassen und ihr supportet mich auch aktiv, auch am besten hier auf YouTube. Folgt mir auf meine Social Media Kanäle, die ebenfalls verlinkt sind, denn dort poste ich Sachen auch von anderen Spielen. Ansonsten Like, Dislike, kommentiert meine Videos, Fragen, Anmerkungen, was auch immer. Ich versuche es in der Regel zu beantworten und würde mal sagen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.